Thank you so much for that introduction, Lori. Good evening, everyone. I am just delighted to be here as we honor 6 extraordinary business leaders, including my dear friend, John Rogers, and a special shout out to our healthcare workers. We can't thank you enough for all you do. So many of you know John as a brilliant founder and now co-CEO of Ariel Investments. But I'm here to let you know that he is that and much, much more. I can't remember a time when I didn't know John Rogers. We grew up literally on the same block in Chicago on the South Side. We both attended the University of Chicago laboratory schools, and we lived in a true community where we were taught to appreciate our responsibilities and accountability to one another. John also had the good fortune of being raised by parents who loved him dearly, ensured that he received an excellent education, and set very high expectations for him. Not in terms of what he would do, they left that to him, but rather what kind of a person he would be. They instilled in John core values such as the importance of character, integrity, decency, and hard work, that trust must be earned and one's commitments must be honored. They gave him a moral compass that only pointed in one direction, true north, and a sense of responsibility to lead a purposeful life, doing his part to create opportunities for others. All qualities which John has in turn instilled in his daughter, Victoria, who is here with us this evening. John's passion for investing began at a very young age of 12 when his father began encouraging him to do research on stocks and then buy John those top picks. See, at an age when most boys we knew were playing sports and chasing after their first crush, well, John did that too, don't get me wrong, but he also began to develop the discipline and rigor about specific stock picks and the stock market more broadly that turned out to be the perfect launching pad to help prepare him to become the innovative and successful business leader that he is today. John and I moved back to Chicago after we were away for school in our early 20s, and not long, it seemed like as soon as we returned, John and I had dinner. And he told me that he was going to start a company of his own, like go out and begin his own company. Well, because we have a very frank and open relationship, I asked him if he had lost his mind. That nobody in their right mind was going to give him, anybody his age with so little experience, the capital necessary to start a business, particularly one that involved managing other people's money. He took my bluntness gracefully and simply smiled knowingly. Not long after that dinner, I learned from my dad that John had also approached him to invest in the company. My father enthusiastically embraced this idea. When I questioned my dad's sanity, he said he saw something very special in John. Dedication to excellence, a strong work ethic, and that John was an old soul, wise before his years. My dad believed that each generation has a responsibility to bet, albeit wisely, on the next, and he thought John was a smart bet. He joined the Ariel board from the very beginning, and he served until his death in 2011. He was so proud to be affiliated with Ariel and all it stood for under John's leadership. My dad was right about John, and I think John has since forgiven me for giving him such bad advice at the time. Beyond Ariel, John's business presence extends to many boardrooms, from McDonald's to Nike, the New York Times, Ryan Specialty Groups, the Barack Obama Foundation, and a trustee of the University of Chicago, just to name a few where he has made an indelible mark. And then there's John's love of basketball. True appreciation for the sport, the value of being a team player, good sportsmanship, relentless determination against odds, resilience, humility. They were all literally drilled into John when he was on the lab school team and then later as captain of the Princeton basketball team. He often credits those lessons for his approaches not just to business, but to life. And it was that same spirit that drove him to invest way back in 2006 in the now very famous Chicago Sky women's basketball team, champions that they are this week. For John is known as being a very patient, yet enthusiastic long-term investor. John's unique patience, diligence, and often contrarian investment philosophy coupled with his indefatigable determination to fight for equitable public policies and business practices that level the playing field for all Americans, have contributed to his many successes. From founding Ariel in 1983, the first nation's Black-owned mutual fund firm, to creating Ariel Community Academy, a school in an underserved community near where we grew up in Chicago, that provides not only excellent education, but it focuses on financial literacy, the lessons that he learned from his dad so long ago. His commitment to teaching financial literacy is one of the many reasons why President Obama chose John to chair the President's Advisory Council on Financial Capability for Young Americans during his time in office. For decades, he has relentlessly advocated among his peers in the business community, and more recently with members of Congress and the White House, about the importance of focusing not just on supplier diversity, but creating strategies for business diversity so that lucrative fields where people of color have traditionally been excluded, such as financial and legal services, are more inclusive. And as we grapple with the inequities laid bare by this pandemic, John's hard work is now receiving the traction it deserves. And John has devoted 19 years to increasing the number of people on corporate boards, people of color, through the Black Corporate Directors Conference, focusing on 3 Ps: people, purchasing, and philanthropy. And on a more personal note, as you can probably tell, John's wise counsel and unwavering friendship have guided me through many challenging decisions. No matter how busy, John makes time for the people in his life. I trust him completely. He's one of the most loyal people I have ever known. An extraordinary business leader, a philanthropist, a father, and a friend, John is the epitome of the CED Distinguished Leadership Award, especially as you pay tribute during these challenging times. That is what John does. He steers the ship steady. He steers it straight ahead. He's inclusive. He has an enormous heart and a passionate desire to see change for the better. He unwaveringly stands for what is right, from equity in education and economic advancement to justice for all. Please join me in congratulating my friend John.